Let's take our block. We're going to separate our legs a little bit. Take the block on the highest, on the midsection. You're going to kneel. Put it, you might even want to test it out. I'll go this way, where you know you're sitting like this, that you can sit on it. You can always adjust it when we're venturing into it. But if you want to do it now, do it now. And then get off it. Bring the feet in, both of them snugly against the short ends of the block to start. And just adjust. You might need to adjust and lift the legs up for a little bit. Gain comfort. And then just start to fold over those thighs, bringing the forearms down to the mat. Getting some comfort there, getting the elbows more or less under the shoulders so you feel supported through that area. And let's just bring our focus to the hands. They're not pressed and really energized and on fire. Fingers are spread, the palms are spread, but there's not a lot of pushing down. Just let this be sort of an even pressure from the finger pads through the palm, through the forearms. And we'll just take a moment to shrug the shoulders back into the body, because this posture tends to have the shoulders creeping in towards the earlobes. So just take that moment to encourage length on both sides of the neck, as well as addressing the home of the collarbones. So the upper chest, just feel that nice and broad and even not overworking. And notice now, or sense now, the neutral shape of our spine, the gentle curve towards the navel. And as we focus there, just plug the navel up to support that curve. The gentle curve away from the heart. As you do that, kind of press the hands away from the mat, encouraging space at the chest. And a gentle curve towards the throat. Comfort in the neck and ease between the ears. And close the eyes for a moment. Good. Just notice how we feel here. Where we're drawn to is going to be different for all of us. Again, just try to keep honoring the neutral spine. We're not doming our upper back. And let's just sort of initiate that shift from this linear, sort of what we call information chain, to more of an expansive, outward reaching in all directions, expressive, interoceptive, sensitive communication. So becoming aware of what that means to be grounded. Is anything that's touching the ground? Often we think of it as walking barefoot outside, or just let that which is touching the ground to really sink in, feel, nourish that area. Let's open the eyes if you haven't already opened. We'll start to straighten the arms. So do put some pressure in the palms. You'll feel the wrists wake up. Holy heck. Draw the chest up, pull the hands a little bit in towards you. You'll feel the shoulder blades fire in towards the spine, and just try to keep kind of neutral in the diaphragm. You don't want to overdo there just because we're energizing the back body. Okay, try to keep that strong. Feel maybe the backs of the arms come in to play. Good. Now we'll shift the weight towards the wrists, getting out of the seat. At which point we can turn those toes right under, get as much purchase as you can. So it's not the tips of the toes, right? You want to get the under toes, maybe the top of the ball of the foot. Start to shift the weight back towards that block. Here comes the fun. Start to put the weight back onto the block. Keep the feet so that you're not sitting on them. And again, you can turn your block higher if you'd like a little bit more space. It will alleviate the pressure on the feet. It's fantastic for the feet. And we're just going to take the hands now, bring them out, shoulder height, something kind of comfortable, and just do some twists, you know, whatever, pedaling the fingers, And then we're going to take the left hand, bring it to the palm of the right, and just gently, mind you, bring that palm so you make that kind of stop hand shape, bringing the fingertips to the ceiling, keeping that arm straight, just feeling the waking up of the carpal area, the underside of that right arm, and then release it and do the other side, bringing that palm now to facing, maybe massaging between those bones. Bring it back, do it to the other side. So left hand, stop sign shape, gently drawing that back for that flexion, feeling the wake up and the response in the underarm and the forearm, and then do the other side, maybe massaging again between the bones. Good. And then take little fists and really draw a circle in towards one another, maybe a couple more, it doesn't matter. And then opposite direction. Getting in there. Oh, yeah. Feel the feet burning. Okay. Let go of the wrists. Bring them down to the thighs. Take a moment to really be there with whatever is resonating through the ankles, this crazy shape of the feet, this waking up of the arches for just a moment. And then let's come off again. Let those feet one at a time. So we're really aware of how we're moving the body within the space around us. What's grounding. Let's just take a moment to draw the heels inwards. They'll have a tendency to fall out. Let's plug them in, reset our bottom. Oops, I'm a little bit long there. Good. And just lean into those hands for a moment. If you're try not to collapse your tummy, just, reach down to your feet. Say, oh, just closing up that circle, maybe drawing the chest up, keeping the shins on the mat as best you can, shoulder blades to the spine. Or simply lean into those feet with a long spine. Good. And then come up. Put one hand down, and it might look awkward. If you can do this, do it. But balancing on the block is a bit of a challenge. So just come down, take your left hand, and peel up your left shin from the mat a little bit. Snuggle that shoulder cap into the body. And just wait for that foot to counterpose, to counter stretch. You may or may not enjoy it. And then gently put that down and go to the other side. So stretch for your right, release the tension in the front of the ankle as we lift the shin. Again, it may come up a little bit. Everybody is going to look a bit different here. You may not even want to. You may just have that pressure on the back foot and the idea of lengthening through the shin to the kneecap. Good. Okay, let's come off this block. We'll set it aside off the mat, and we'll come to standing on those shins, nice and tall. Again, taking the right shoulder forward, up and back and down and around. Just make that big circles with the shoulders, and you'll probably find your hands have reached back by the thighs a little bit more. Kind of good. Okay, we're going to take the left leg right out and turn it open. Right open. Sink a little bit in the groin here because we'll have a tendency to sort of sag. So really get this evenness through the hips, the pelvis, the openness in this left leg to the sky. Left arm just reaches down. We're doing a side bend. So the right arm comes up. Take a moment to be aware of what we've just done. We're not just throwing it. We're reaching, growing it up right out, whatever sense. So I was going right to the core of the earth. And then with the chest nice and open, we're going to fold over this extended leg. So first big side bend. So you may find something sort of shutting you out a little bit. Maybe you want to focus more on your waist, less on the rib cage, or more on this opening of the arm, or maybe opening of the whole body to the sky. Whatever works. Just soak that in. Maybe do those micro movements so you feel fluid, and then come back up. Feel those ribs. Say thank you. Find the mat with that right hand and fingers looking away. Come to the ball of the left foot, and then take a moment to sort of encourage this right inner thigh to move towards the left leg, okay? Because again, we'll have a tendency to sink and put all the pressure in this arm and this joint, which is a little bit hard. Let's take the left hand and use it to invite this hip point to peel open instead of looking down and collapsing. And with all this going on, let's keep going with this left arm and stack it above. Take a moment to feel the ribs respond, the back body be intact, and then slowly strengthen that left leg and lift it up parallel to the floor, and then refine. Go to the areas that feel slightly dark, slightly less flow to them, like connect. Generally be your right side of the waist. You want strong lines here, reaching this left leg away. And then let's take this left arm slowly, refine it over the ear, reaching, and now making a very strong parallel line to the floor. Notice the neck. That's it. Now bring this arm back up. Once you feel again the stacked bones through the chest, bring that left leg down. Come up and slide this left leg forward in front of us. That's right. Take the left hand. We're going to go into another side bend and then a kneeling twist. So hand comes in behind, right hand extends again. We've already done it. Press the top of that right foot into the floor so you're not feeling the kneecap. Take the posture, take the kneel, and then go over the side. Again, creating a lot of length, not only through the side body, but how about the side of your right leg, thigh? Press down through your left foot, pivot that heel, and you'll feel much more stable and supported. And then come back up, noting again what it feels like when we've come to neutral, ready to progress into the next posture. Right hand to the thigh, left hand to the sacrum. Take the opportunity to lift the chest towards the front of your space. And then on successive exhalations, however many are good for you, or maybe just one deep one and you want to breathe in some degree of twist, but you're going to slowly and gently spiral towards the left. And staying aware of how we feel in the upper chest and the upper back, okay? Try to feel them on the journey together, not one left the other one to proceed on its own. Come back. Take that leg back in. Take a moment just to sit on the heels. Come back up. We're going to take the right leg out, turn it up, anchor it in, even out the waist. These are all things that keep us really embodied and interoceptively aware and proprioceptive. Well, they're aspects of the same umbrella. So right hand opens, left arm reaches up. Really open this up. So we've just been working it. So the lines of energy are indeed reaching up, but you want to avoid where you're leaving your home, where you just keep moving up. No, you got to move up and then anchor where you came from. Move up, anchor, move up. And that's where we get the strength, and then take the fold. Right over. Again, spiraling open the left side of the body. Sensing it, being aware of what's working, what's releasing. Is there rest? Where the work is, where the yield is. So the yield for me is my right waist, right? It's softening, becoming quiet, so everything else can expand. Come back up, see, and just notice how the right waist goes, hello, comes back down. Plant that left hand on the mat, come to the ball of the right leg and start to open the hips. So here, this gentle pressure of this right hand on the hip can really keep us mindful of alignment, healthy alignment as we lift the leg. Oops, no, you don't have to. Whoops. Usually you lift the arm up, then you can find that leg if you want, but remember, you can always stay here, which will just be stronger for your right waist. Little higher if you're feeling it. That's it. Oh yeah. And then maybe that top arm will start to roll in the shoulder itself, come down and mirror the strength of the back leg, creating long lines, strong lines, lean lines. Arm comes up, leg comes down. If it hasn't already, come up. Take this right leg in front and the right hand behind. Encourage a little space here. That's why this hand in the lower back is very nice to keep us nicely spaced. Up, take the overside. And press that left heel or right heel into the mat. Try to keep the top arm as open and spread as you can. So, which means not kind of bending at the elbow, because then everything else can jump off the journey. So keep everything working together, and then up, finishing with a twist. Left hand drifts around. Right hand turns in. The waists lengthen together. And then the exhale initiates the squeezing and the twist over to the right side somewhere. Maybe stay really connected with the how we feel in the lungs here. We want them both, one not to be pinched. And then come back, take this leg in, settle back on the feet for a moment, bring the belly to the thighs, lengthen the back of the neck so the gaze will be down, not forward, and start to reach these hands to the top of the mat, just inching them, pedaling them up until you feel this purchase down under both palms and this pressure away. And I hope you see the activity on the side of the shoulders. Keep that pressure. Come forward, separate the legs a little bit so they're comfortably hip distance apart, and plug the belly in. Turn the toes under and just lengthen the left leg up and get more length if you need it. Bring that left leg down, some really great action for the ankles, and the right leg comes up. Fire it strong. And down. And then both together, finding this plank, feeling the space between each and every toe. Okay, start there. Feel broad through the feet, strong through the ankles, the thighs, the hips, the glutes, the tummy. Pull it up. Energize the rib cage by pressing the ground away from you and out to the sides. Good. And then let's soften the knees a little bit. That means bring them down towards the mat. That'll just get out of the hamstrings. Keep the belly quite strong though, because we're driving those hips up and back. They haven't really woken up in this shape yet, so let them take a moment in this deep hinge, strong through the bottom half and long through the top half. So I think in this shape, we can bring the ears slightly between the arms if that's okay. Again, make sure the swallow is good. And then begin to find your way into your first downward dog, easing open the backs of the legs, finding that even purchase, staying aware. So this is not thoughtful aware. This is just sensory aware of the pressure in the hands, the pressure in the feet, the evenness. Plug it in, create this inversion. And now we're going to do a little flow. Okay, we'll be coming back to plank, but we'll be bringing our right leg to the right arm. So let's do it. Take an inhale. Exhale, drift the shoulders, bring that right knee to the right elbow or towards it. Shoulders stay square. Come back, put that leg down to downward dog. Take a breath in. We're going to bring that exhale and bring that knee to the center towards your nose. If you want to do that doming of the back, do so. Otherwise, keep a nice, strong, engaged core. And bring it back. Take a breath in. And take a breath out, shifting again. Knee now to left shoulder, squaring off the chest, keeping it nice and broad. Feel that twist and come back. Okay, we're going to bring the leg out in broken triangle. So take an inhale. And as we exhale, let it initiate the shift of weight forward. Bring that knee underneath the navel. Bring the left foot to the mat, the whole foot balance, and stick the right one out underneath you. Now it might come lower towards that foot, which makes it a little less intense, I'd say. And then slowly peel open. Left arm, stack it. Notice the right waist to the right underarm, lengthen that space, bring that leg up, or just idea of that coming up. Don't worry if you can't, because it's kind of an awkward lift. Big balance. Let's visit the back, the shoulder blades. Feel how strong they're connected to the spine, but they're reaching through the fingers. Bring the leg down if you lifted it. Bring the left hand to the mat. Pivot on the back foot and bring the right leg back. Let's come out of the inversion and just settle back a little bit, whatever kind of feels comfortable, and gently, mind you, flip the hands for a moment. Maybe make like tiny circles or little smiles, like back and forth arcs, or do nothing. Just wait for it a moment. Put them back. Establish their root. Start to find the mat through the undertoes, because everything needs to light up to get us back up into our downward dog. Find it, refine it. Mine's a little bit short today. Sometimes I'm a bit long. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. So left knee will go to the left elbow on the exhalation. So take the inhale. There's that pause at the top. Exhale, shift the weight, let the right heel come forward and the left knee come to the left elbow. Come back or somewhere towards it. Take a breath in. Your even keel here, both hands, both feet. Exhale, initiate, come forward, knee under chest, strong right leg, heel of the right foot way forward and come back. So you're getting huge work for these ankles. Inhaling. And exhale, slowly shifting the weight, bring that left knee to the right elbow or towards it. Getting into the obliques and the transverse and coming back. Another inhale, focus on the thumb and first finger, both hands. And come forward, knee, plant the right foot all the way to the mat and stretch out your left one beneath you. Stacking. And that let's refine. So lengthen the bottom side of your waist, so your left waist, reach down into the pinky side of your right foot. Maybe lift the left leg up or don't. Play around with space, how the arms feel, how they invite space through the chest where the lungs and the heart have their home. Take that hand down, stretching out the back, pivot on the back foot and bring the leg back, downward dog. You see how breaking it down can be, well, just interesting instead of doing it super fast where we can skim over difficult parts. Bring the knees down. And again, bring the hands to where you can. We flip them. Just getting out of that intensity for the wrists. Make your own tiny circles or just be patient. Flip the hands. Take the toes under. Find downward dog. Closing off the sequence. And let's step to the top of the mat, keeping the feet hip distance apart. The legs are slightly bent. The belly does touch the thighs. The head falls down towards the ground, and we can flip the palms so they cradle the crown. And just to become deeply aware of this nuanced shifting of weight between the foundation, between the feet. It's ever happening, always, ever. Notice how the shoulder caps indeed have collapsed in towards your neck. That's okay in this posture. Let's pull a little bit farther away for a rag doll. Maybe float over to the outside of the right ankle, stretching out the left waist. You might even be lucky enough to feel the pulsing in the fingers where we reverse the flow of blood here, right? The head is below the heart. Again, soak up that richness on the right side of the body. If you want to bob and weave, do it. Do it. Okay. Now bend again. You're going to have to bend quite a bit. And this is, again, so unique for all of us, right? We're going to step on our hands. But if you have super long legs and shorter arms, you have to create a different shape. So let's do that. Bend the legs as much as we need to open that foot and slide the hand, both of them, bringing the big toes right, and I mean right to the wrist creases. None of this middle of the palm business. So whatever you have to do to get there, take a moment. Just feel the expansion in the upper back to release. Feel that pressure on the feet. And these two places, our palms and our feet, right? They're touching. So we've closed this energy cycle, but also there are two incredibly important ways that we sense our world around us. Just Feel them pressing on the hands. And then take the hands out from beneath. Maybe press the fingers between the tendons and the bones or the muscles, the metatarsals. And then slide up the hands to the side of the bed and come into half stand with the arms facing in and the chest open, the under chin long, soft. Bending at the knees, taking the arms forward, finding this Utkatasana with a wide leg. Bring the palms together, again, releasing any tension in the upper back at the base of the neck too. Right when you do this, it's a really great shape to visit this area. And then bring the hands into the heart. It'll look like Anjali Mudra. Lift the heels way up if you can. Wait for it. Plug the belly in and sink the hips a little bit. Release the shoulder caps a bit more from creeping in towards the neck. Soak in this balance. Okay, the hands are going to separate. They're going to go right up out of the hips while we're still balancing. And then release the back of the ankle. So at the Achilles, bring them feet back down. When you feel full-footed, power it right up into Urdhva Hastasana. Open the arms away from one another. Sweep them down to the back of the hips. Draw the elbows in. Offer the chest up. Release the hands down. Ooh, okay. Let's bring the feet together, toe knuckles together, heels very slightly apart. Inhale, bring the arms to a V and follow that lifting and opening with the upper chest, this sort of offering up to the sky, up, 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 up. And bring the hands together, unzip all the way down, feel the back body open. Lifting away from the floor, lengthening. Good. Step the left leg back. Take a moment here. Slowly sliding the hands away, finding the lower thigh with both palms in and drawing the elbows back, reminding us to keep nice and open in the chest. Feel this feel of receptivity, happiness. This just feels proud when we keep our chest open. Good. Press through that right heel. Let go of the leg, sweeping the arms up and out to the side. Stack both leg bones. So the legs are straight, the arms are reaching away from the center of our chest, back of the heart. Okay, bend the right leg and the arms turn toward to look to the floor and they come by the side of the body. We're coming in to this high lunge, a variation of Warrior One. Just notice the opening in the left hip. And slowly keep really strong to that right leg. Find the mat with this left knee. Slowly, 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 slowly. Right hand to the thigh. Breathe up the left leg. Find the mat with the left hand and stretch the left leg back out again. Open up the spine to the inside of the right leg, adding the arm placement if that feels good, or you can put it at the sacrum. Sweeping the hand down. Just give a little bend in the left leg because it gives us ability to sort of send that leg forward, place, reacquaint, let go of the head. Lifting, lifting, lifting. Big squat. Right leg sends it long and back. Find the purchase through the ball and the toes of the right foot, the full foot on the left side. Bring the hands now. Oh yeah. Elbows back. This gives a lovely opportunity, right? To call in this left hip. It starts to drift over to the left and will throw us right off and the groins will start to come forward. So we want to keep as neutral and strong and stable as we can through the fulcrum, through the hinge. Okay, letting go of the leg, the arms reach up and out of the heart, the legs straighten. You really have to find a long inner left leg and keep that root to the inside of the left foot. It really helps. And it just feels so, I mean, if you're feeling flighty, what a great posture to really bring you back down. Okay. Bring the arms down by the side of the body as we bend the left leg. And this time, the primary focus could be on the right hip coming forward versus calling the left hip in. Focus that. Very slowly. Feel the strength in the ankle in the back foot as we lower the knee. Yay. Nice and floaty ribs, long waist, strong core. Find the mat with the right hand. When it finds the mat, that's the cue to send that strength to the back leg, preparing for this twist over to the left. Just coloring it in slowly. It really adds depth to the practice, I think. It takes patience, but instead of flying into a shape you know you're going into, take time for the journey, because even if I've done this, the journey there is always different. Something else will come to the foreground, something to digest, to be aware of. It's really cool. Instead of going to end shapes, it's getting there that feels so rich, and to be very mindful. Bring that left hand back down, soften the back knee, meaning bend it a little bit, float it forward, plant it down, lift it up. Take a forward fold of your choice. So if you like to bind or hold on to the ankles or just bring the hands to the mat, the idea is to lengthen the legs a little bit more, fold the body, and reach the crown towards the ground. Whatever that looks like, it's the intention. I have to be careful with mine. Take another couple of breaths here, noting and feeling and sensing the shifting of the weight as we adjust and react to gravity. And then slowly bring softness to the knees so you get out of the hamstrings. Let go of the hands wherever they are and begin your roll up. Only doing it, moving on the inhales. And it's a wonderful moment to really become familiar with what it feels like to have a collapsed chest, because you can find it in your normal day too, instead of go, oh, there it is again. Just become much more body aware. Come up to stand. Take a moment to stand. Again. Really fostering this connection to the earth through our feet is fantastic. And as I said just the other day, we rarely fall in stillness. So we fall in transitions, stepping off a stair, stepping off a sidewalk. So learning the functional of feeling stable even when we're on one foot, building the strength that we may need, the vitality, because falls are a big risk. So having said that, we're going to play around with our feet and go into that curtsy squat. So we'll just keep the hands out of the mix for the moment. Palms in. It's a nice place to put them, I find, because it keeps us really focused on the hinge, what's going on in the engine here. Okay, so it's the right leg's going to move first. I won't mirror. We're just going to go with you. And you're going to straighten the right leg and bring it across the left towards what you'd think would be 10 o'clock on a clock. Just this pointing of the toe. Having our hands here, I want to feel this remains kind of still. So the movement happens. So move that leg. So now you're kind of at noon or midnight. Okay. Bring it over. Now you're at 3 o'clock. And you can do this not touching, but I like to touch the ground. And now bring it down to, I don't know, 6 o'clock. Feel what happened. Oh, and then we're not going to go to 9 o'clock. So we'll probably have to go to 8-ish. Okay. Think of 8-ish. Stretch down. Okay. Flip the right foot. So now the toes are starting to take purchase and you're stretching. You feel the foot going hello. Keep the heel of the right foot high and start to bend both legs. Bringing that right shin very low to the ground, and you felt the hips stay Neutral facing forward, columnal, and the trunk. You. Okay. Now let's take the hands into the mix, or bring the hands into the mix by bending at the elbows, palms open. Again, perhaps visualize, sense that you have a lead weight dropping from both elbows. Why? Because that'll just give you this sense of ease across the top of the shoulders, which start to do this. And open over the left hip. And then make it a dance, make it a flow if you want to do gentle bobs and weaves or gentle move, like a little bit deeper, or just stay with the stillness and the effort, the balance, the work, feel the groins, everything. The richness, the smile. Okay, straighten the legs, bring the hands back. Come right back to the pointy toes that we just got there with, and come back. It's funny shapes, but I think they'll help us. Okay, it's the left leg is going to do the same thing. So we're going to go over to say 10 o'clock. Again, encouraging these hips to go the opposite direction, because this is what the body's going to want to do. So we're just going to do this. Stay focused and gently holding our hips. Bring it to 12. Strong point, okay? I don't know, like a ballerina point. Really strong calf muscle. Out to the left. Oh, did you hear my hip release? Again, feel how the hips want to accommodate the depth. No, we're going to make this work. Whoa, bring it to 6. Bring it to 8 or whatever. Start to find the mat, flip the foot, put the pressure in that, and begin to drop yourself between there, getting a lot of space at the Achilles. It's a lot of work. Make sure the knees are not twinging. Okay. Again, you can keep the elbows and the hands like this, just really kind of getting a little stronger in this shape, or you can start the twisting over the right hip, but keeping the right knee from following suit. It's going the opposite direction. Again. Oh, I don't know. Notice the right foot. Are the toes pulling in? Are we grabbing the ground with the toes? Can we release and honor the space between the toes? Trust that we're stable. If you liked a little movement, you do your movement. Straighten up, bring the hands to the hips. Find the pointy toe to the mat. Bring the leg back. Just let the arms rest down by the sides for a moment, and maybe shifting the weight a little bit. And this is where you in your own practice would, take a Rahasya, close your eyes, and you'd be called to do something. I'm going to do it for you. So you're taking the right foot back and long, lifting the toes of the left up and bring them in. So it'll be pigeon-toed for a moment. Lift the toes of the right, bring them out. Start to get your space. Strong legs. Add the arms, sweeping them out from the lungs and the heart, and getting up, taking up some space. And keep the gaze point over the heart line for the moment. Okay. Open both arms, so right in the shoulders themselves, so not from the wrists. Try to really feel that rotation in both arms in the socket. Keep the gaze over the heart. Thumb to first finger, gently, making that raindrop shape, and bring the elbows towards the waist. Try not to do something funky with the wrists. Okay, just keep the wrists open like that. Come to a point where you feel the collarbones engaged, and jump on the bus with us, and then bend the right leg. Just breathe into this huge, wide open shape. Feel the feet, feel the earth. Call up the energy, don't just give it down. That would look like this. Let go of the mudra, bring the arms above the hips, squaring them off. and taking the hinge. And a variation of Parsvakonasana, it's quite deep. So make sure that you stop moving and engage the waist so you feel honoring this length on the right side of the waist, pressing the feet down, feeling the whole pose radiating. Good. Press to the right heel, it will help. Come back up with stretched out arms, shoulder blades towards the spine, helping us feel engaged. Lift the toes of the right foot, bring them in. Again, we're pigeon-toed for a second. Toes of the left, and bring them out until you feel nice and wide. Opening to the left, gaze is over the heart. That's it. Thumb and first finger, elbows to waist. Very nice. Again, gaze is over the heart. Let go of the mudra. Grow the arms out of the hips. You might even feel some movement beneath your shirt. And the right leg. And take that floaty Parsvakonasana flight. Really feel that right leg moving away from the front of you, right? The right leg is going behind you in this. So really foster openness in the groins on the right side, or the left leg, sorry, excuse me. That's it. Keep feeling the earth beneath that right leg, beneath the right foot. And press through that left heel, come back up. Bring the hands in. Lift the left toes and bring them in. And just start to hinge. So bring the body in one line from hips to shoulders to ears to crown over, sort of parallel to the floor if that's okay. Elbows can come and bring the hands to the back of the hips. Elbows looking to the sky will just help keep the chest nice and open. Let's visit the diaphragm. We have a tendency to sort of overdo and spread the neck out. So just engage the diaphragm. So at the sternum, draw it in. And let's just go a little bit past half when you feel conversation with the inner legs deepen and become a little bit louder. Don't go too far. And very gently with the hands where they are, you can just encourage that kind of a lift, drawing them towards your head. So you'll feel this stretch up the back of the legs. Maybe go a little bit lower, maybe not. Okay. Come back to half. And all the way to stand. Turning the feet outward now, sort of where they are. Take the arms, so we're in like starfish, 5-point star. We'll bend the elbows and bend the knees at the same time, bringing the elbows towards the waist, creating a lot of space on the shoulders from the neck, strong for the feet, and feel nice and strong lifted. So we're not leaning towards the floor. Press down a little bit. Now, just play around with lift the left heel and put it down, and just lift the right, kind of playing around with this, reducing so our foundation becomes narrower as we do this, right? Okay, but do both at the same time. And don't fall over, don't lean forward. Keep those elbows into the waist, sink. Ha ha ha. Okay, find the mat. Press to the heels. Reach back up, take up space, lift the heart. Oh yeah. Let it feed you and bring the hands to the hips. Lifting the toes of the right and bring them in. Lifting the toes of the left and turning them out until we feel we can step forward safely to stand. That's it. Okay. Opening the feet as wide as you need. We're going to come down. We won't be staying in the this variation on Malasana, but we will come down. So honor where you have to stay. I'm too narrow. So we'll come down. So it might be here, play around with it. Might be down here. Just watch if you can see my lower back expanding. It's gone too far. Let's just a little bit higher. Bring the arms to the inside of the legs. Keep a nice long back. Keep that even pressure on the insides of the knees comfortably. Good. And then one hand gently, and then the other. Come find the mat. Bring the legs in together. Wrap the arms around the shins. And soften the chin in towards the throat, expanding the back. Open the belly to the thighs, chest rises up. We'll do what we did the other day. So forearms to the mat, thumbs on the inside, 4 fingers on the outside. Well, 8 fingers. Notice what it feels like to sink into those hands where we're sinking and opening our lower back to the floor. No, let's draw the hip on the front, up. Bring the legs together and bring the shins parallel to the floor. Let's just gaze sort of at the inside of both big toes or maybe the inside of the knees. So if we were going to fall out of this, have this idea that we'd fall forward and the feet would come down. We wouldn't fall backwards and sink into the ground with our lower back. Try to keep that in mind. And let's see if we straighten these legs, how does it feel? Let's mirror that, strengthen the legs by opening the chest a little more, spreading the shoulders away from the chest. Now gazing up at the big toes, open the legs. Close the legs. Take the left leg halfway to the floor. And just keep drawing those legs to roll inwards. If anything, not outwards. Bring that left leg up and take the right one down. Again, being strong and connected to the trunk. Bring the legs up. Bring them back so they are parallel to the floor. And then as we're balancing here, take the arms out from beneath us. Allow the lower back to find the mat slowly. The arms are there to support us. Keep rolling down to the back of the head. When the back of the head's there, start to come in, thighs to belly, arms to shins. Take a nice rich entry into a version of Apanasana that feels good for you. Just moving more deeply on each exhalation if that feels good, or maybe rocking gently side to side. Mm-hmm. Now flex the ankles to the toes, the feet look to the ceiling. Like go, you're gonna seek the ankles, or if you can grab the outside of each foot. The thumbs, feel the warmth of the hands on the arches. Oh, I always take this opportunity to give myself a little bit of a foot massage. Get in there. And now just recognize what's happening in the upper back. It might feel a little bit bony. Perhaps we'll deepen it by kind of pressing the hands into the feet into the hands. Neither will win. They're both strong. Bring the nose towards the knees even deeper. Creating this tummy. You'll probably move up by the kidneys a little bit more. And then let go. Bring the head down, let go of the tension in the ankles by letting the feet cross. Good. Cross the right leg over the left. And just do what you have to do to get any holding and stickiness on the inside. You might have to pull your pants. And now we're doing a variation on this shoelace. So again, we're going to lift the head. Find these outer sides. So the right hand goes to the left leg, left hand goes to the right leg. If you can take hold of that outside of the calf, the shin, do that. If you can get all the way down to the ankles, maybe do that and see if we can encourage these legs out. You can bring the back of the head down. Don't be shy to move around in it. And you may not be drawing them quite as deeply here. So you can just leave the bind and just explore, maybe bringing the knees in circles or rocking. The idea is to feel it in the hip and the piriformis, primarily, well, eventually on both, but on this side will be the right side. So maybe shifting a little bit over to the left. Can you find it yourself? Just be careful when we switching sides. I'd bring the head up so the legs are so strong and they will not enjoy that in the hips. So we don't want them to snap. Bring that down and just cross over to the other side. Left one over right. Open the feet to the sides of your space, give or take. Chin to chest, hands drift forward. They find the outside of both shins, ankles, or feet. And then see if we can replace the back of the head down. Yeah. Oh, woo. Allow the natural movements to happen. Okay. Try not to be too dogmatic or even holding your stuff. Don't hold. Maintain, maybe. Okay. Careful on the let go. Uncross. Let's plant the feet down for a moment. Bring the hands down by the side of the body. Palms are facing down. Release tension in the chest by just dropping into those arms. Press into the feet, lifting the hips just into an inversion, no back bend. And try not to squeeze your bottom together. Feel the shortness, powerful. All the glutes working together, and then pull these heels in towards you. You'll feel the hamstrings lighten up. Just stay lifted. This is the heaviest part of us. Good. And replace, feel that release of the back body down. Legs come up, knees over hips, the legs extend. So we're doing a variation of legs up the wall. So you need to find, there's a sweet spot where a slight bend in the knees and the legs are up so that gravity has become our friend and not our master. Okay, softness, it should feel good. I like to move around here. It's a wonderful little pause or opportunity to visit the head and especially the jaw, just becoming aware if there's any residual holding or tension here. Deliberately letting go of that. The biting surfaces of the teeth apart. That's the shape you want to soothe in. Slowly bring the legs back down. Find the mat one last time. I won't be the last time. And just lift the hips up and very slightly shift the hips over a little bit to the right. And we're just going to gently bring the bent legs over to the left. Doesn't matter. Now let's not do super deep. We'll just let them land where they want to land. Bring the right one up, and I would just find a lovely rinse up the side of the body through the underarm. And just bring your head down, come back to center, and do this on the other side. This little shifting of the hips seems minor, but just gives you a little bit. When you are doing a very deep one, you want more perpendicular trunk to legs. Come over to the right side, left arm comes up, somewhere comfortable. Bring the arm down, and then if there's something you need to do, you by all means do it, or find anything you like to add to your Shavasana. And you can either Stay here with the legs bent and just opening the feet and letting the knees knock in constructive rest if that sort of feels good for your spine and you, or stretching your body out, unzipping completely so the legs and the weight of them fall outward. Belly soft, the lower back is comfortable, and the arms are wherever, quite frankly, you want them. Facing up if you can, because it's really, again, fosters this opportunity to absolutely release, closing the eyes. Just really allow this soundless and effortless exhalation to sort of invite you away from the outer edges, the physical edges of the body. Softening as we go, integrating postures and sequences that we practiced, balancing, restoring. Just really soak up that goodness. Slowly and gently reverse, just letting those inhalations sort of guide us back through. Just filling out the form. And I just wanted to offer today, again, don't have to, just this way of getting out of Shavasana that you may enjoy. I'm going to choose the right side, but we're going to very slowly feel the backs of the knees soften in. We're going to slide the soles of the feet to the mat, bending the legs. Feel that support of the mat there. Now let's just move the right arm up. Keep the eyes closed. This is not technical. Just bring the right arm up the body. And slowly shift the weight over to the right side, bringing the right ear to the right arm. The left hand can come to the mat. And this is a spot that I find you could stay in for so long in your own practice. And then just use that left hand to slowly press up, bring the right one beneath you. Let the neck be soft, the eyes remain closed, so the chin is tucked in. Just slowly rolling around till you can find the mat beneath you, facing forward. Hands slide to wherever you feel they're comfortable, and then begin to open up the spine, finding a comfortable chin and a long neck. Lifting the corners of the mouth and bringing the hands wherever you like, forehead, heart, belly. Thank you. Thank you.